Hello everyone, my name is Chrissy Jane Santos and I'm introducing to you our chosen pattern. First, we choose the number pattern. A number pattern is a set of numbers that follow a simple rule, making it easy to see how one number leads to the next number. And the second one, geometric pattern, which used for geometric pattern is chessboard. A chessboard pattern is made of repeating black and white squares, forming a neat and balanced grids that's easy to recognize. And for the third and last one, word pattern, which used for the word pattern is poem. A word pattern in a poem is the way of a certain words or the sounds repeat, helping the poem sound smoother and more expansive and more knowledgeable. And that's our chosen pattern.
Number pattern, we chose multiplication table because it is considered a number pattern because each sequence in a multiplication table follows a predictable and consistent rule. In every row or column, the numbers increase by the same amount each time, showing a pattern of repeated addition. For example, the multiples of 4 form the pattern 4, 8, 12, 16, and so on, where 4 is added repeatedly. This regular increase creates a clear numerical pattern that can be easily recognized and extended. Because multiplication organizes numbers into those repeating sequences, it is classified as a number pattern.
What repeats in multiplication table? The products in each row or column of the multiplication table repeat in the pattern. For example, in the row of 5, the numbers increase by 5 each time, like 5, 10, 15, 20, and so on. The rule behind the repetition of multiplication table. Each row follows the rule of adding the same number repeatedly. This is because multiplication is repeated addition, so every row increases by a constant amount.
For geometric pattern, we chose a chessboard because honestly, it's one of the clearest and most precise example of repetition structure. Very simple, pero malinis siyang tignan. Yung nagre-repeat dito is yung alternating squares, yung black, light, black, light. Super consistent siya kasi across all 64 squares, it's controlled, predictable, pattern na hindi talaga nasisira. The rule is super straightforward. Bawal magkatabi yung two squares na same color. Tsaka every row nag-alternate tapos yung next row ginagawa rin yung rule pero nakashift siya ng konti. Kaya sobrang balance yung buong grid. Such as, hindi lang siya for static. The alternating colors help players see movement clearly, track position, and avoid confusion. Kapag one color lang yung board, good luck! Ang gulo nun, tsaka mahirap maglaro. Pattern make things easier to understand visually. Mas organized, mas madali. I-navigate, mas user-friendly. Yung chessboard shows na kahit simple lang yung pattern, it can create order and actually guide decision in a strategic game. So in this chessboard, the geometric pattern is not just repetition, it's a whole system that gives clarify and logic one square at a time.
Familiar tayo sa ulan at ambon, pero alam mo ba yung tinatawag na tikatik? Ito yung ulan na hindi naman kalakasan, pero maghapon o magdamag nandyan. Ito yung katamtaman pero tumatagal. Ito yung mahina pero hindi napapagal.
Hey, did you notice there's a pattern in that poem?
Huh? What do you mean?
It's a weird pattern!
Now, let us explore the world of patterns. In poems, these patterns are created through repeated words, phrases, or rhymes. This repetition helps readers to anticipate what comes next and strengthen the poem's meaning. Just like mathematical or geometric patterns, which organize information, guide understanding, and help us recognize structure. Why does pattern occur in that context? Repetition in poems occurs to highlight key ideas and create rhythm, just like patterns in mathematics, which help us see structure and predict what comes next. Both use repeated elements to make the message clearer, easier to follow, and more meaningful.
Let's start with the question, what repeats in the pattern? In the poem, certain words, phrases, and rhymes repeat across lines or stanzas, which create rhythm and structure. Now let's proceed with the rule of the repetition. The poem follows a structured pattern like a rhyme scheme or repeated lines. This repetition organizes the poem, which gives it musicality and like math patterns makes it easier to understand and remember.
Next is the significance of pattern and why do patterns matter and how we think, behave, or organize the world. The pattern is important because it shows how repeating shapes or designs can make something look neat and balanced and easier to understand. Why pattern matters in how we think, behave, or organize the world? Patterns matters because our brains like things can repeat, and it helps us to make sense of what we see and what we think. They guide how we think, help us notice what's normal or different, and make it easier to us to form habits and organize our daily lives. Patterns help us understand the world in a clearer and manageable way. With the help of patterns, we will become more organized and more flexible with our own paths and the ability to create new ideas in life. So that is how pattern is significant in our way of living.